Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool. And today we are with the biology chapters. Under that, the very first chapter, that is the life processes. Okay, and the class 10 biology is a very interesting aspect because you're learning about your own body. So you're learning about the different things that are happening within your own body. Okay, so here nothing is there to mug up. Everything is there to understand the concept, analyze, and keep the concepts in your mind. Clear, everybody? So the very interesting chapters we are going to deal with. And the very fundamental chapter, the very basic chapter is our life processes. Okay, so before we go to the meaning of the word life processes, let us try to think about this. Imagine we have certain living things and the non-living things. Okay, first, you have a man. Yes or no? You have a man, and imagine you have a tree. What are these? Living organisms. Okay, not only animals or plants, you can also have microorganisms like amoeba, bacteria, viruses, everything. Every microorganism is a living thing, isn't it? Fine. And we have certain non-living things also. Say for example, table is there, chair is there, okay, fan is there. All these are non-living. Yes or no? And actually, how do you say which is a living and which is a non-living? And on what basis you all can decide which is a living and which is a non-living thing? Definitely. So when I ask you why these are living and why these are non-living, you can give one answer. That is, these guys have so-called life, isn't it? And here you don't find any life. Yes or no? And how do you say that these things have life? What is the proof? What is the proof to say they have life? They have life. And what is the proof to say that they are alive? Life in the sense what? Staying alive. Yes or no? Staying alive. So what is the proof? On what basis do you say these guys are staying alive and these are actually dead? Dead in the sense no life. Isn't it? So on what basis do you say this? First one is looking at the movements. Yes or no? Looking at movements. These guys will move on their own. Yes or no? They keep moving. Say we belong to a category called animals, isn't it? And the most sophisticated animal on the earth, I can say. Say every animal, they keep moving. Yes or no? We can move our hands, we can walk, we can turn our head, we can talk. No, animals don't talk, some of the animals, but at least every animal can move. So looking at the movements, you will say these are alive. That means they have a life, and these guys, they don't move on their own. Yes or no? Until and unless we move it, they won't move. They will stay where they are, right? So one is by looking at the movements. Okay, imagine a person is sleeping here. Okay, say a person is sleeping. Then how do you say that particular person is alive or having a life? And in case of plants also, imagine there is no wind at all. Not even a single leaf is moving. That means is the plant or tree dead? When a person is sleeping, you don't observe any movements with your naked eyes. That means that person is dead? No. So when a man is sleeping, or when a tree or plant is not moving at all, then how do you decide that those guys have a life? By checking breathing. Yes or no? So when a person is sleeping, how do you say that he is alive? You will check the breathing. Even when a person sleeps, he can breathe. He gives out certain gases and he takes certain gases. isn't it? And his tummy goes up and down, up and down. Yes or no? You can observe that and you say that the person is alive, right? So once the movements are not observed with your naked eye, but still you can say a person is alive or organism is alive by, checking breathing. Yes or no? Breathing. Okay. And now imagine you have a person who is not sleeping and he held the breath. Okay. He is holding a breath. You can do that in yoga. Yes or no? Say if you ask yoga meditators and all, they can hold the breath for a longer time, at least for a few minutes. Then how do you say? The moment he holds the breath, he is not moving at all. Do you say the person is dead? Because he is not breathing? Because he is not moving. So you say a person is dead? No, right? You still say the person is alive. So on what basis are you telling that particular person is having a life? He's not moving, he's not breathing, he's not doing anything. Okay, but still you say the person is alive. On what basis? It is because there are certain processes which are occurring in his body. You may not see his movements with your naked eyes, but there are certain movements within his body. There is blood flowing from toe to head to toe, isn't it? And there are certain chemicals inside a body that can flow from top to bottom, bottom to top. Those movements which are happening within his body, or those processes which are happening within his body, you cannot see. But they are happening, you know it, they are happening. So you say that particular person is alive, he's not dead. He's not even moving, he's not even breathing. But still you say the person is alive is because there are certain things acting within himself. Okay, processes which are happening. Looking at those processes, you would say the person or the organism is alive. Okay, even in the plants. Imagine there is no wind at all, no leaves are moving, but still you say the plant is having a life. It's because, you can observe its growth. Gradually, month by month, the plant is showing a growth. It is growing in height. And there are many things happening within a plant body. Water is moving from bottom to top. Food is moving from top to bottom. Isn't it? So all these processes which are happening within a living system, okay, actually these processes are the proof to tell that living organisms have life. They are alive. Yes or no? And what I can write, the last proof is processes. There are certain processes happening within. You may not see them with your naked eyes. They are happening inside a body. Yes or no? Inside a body. It may be an animal body or plant body. Okay? And these processes are the proof. They are the major proof for telling the living organisms. The living organisms have life. They are alive, not dead. Okay, when somebody is alive or dead, how do you say? See, you can observe there are many processes happening within. Okay, you may not see with your eyes, but they are happening within. Okay, so that is the main difference between the living organisms and the non-living things. Yes or no? There are many things happening inside the body, but here nothing is happening in their system. Got to know? So those processes which are responsible for staying alive, the processes which are happening within a body for growth and maintenance of the body, such processes are called life processes. Okay, so if I have to give the definition of life processes, what I can give? The processes, okay, that happen within a living system. living system, or here system means a body. Okay, it can be an animal body, it can be a plant body, or it can be a microorganism's body also. Okay, so the processes that happen within a living system, and these processes are responsible for growth and maintenance. Okay, so such a processes are called life processes. Okay, so there are many life processes which are happening within our system. You know what are they? The first one is nutrition, and the second one respiration, and the third important one transportation. Okay, next one excretion. Okay, fifth one control and coordination. Sixth one reproduction. Okay, and the whole 10th standard biology is all about studying those processes, okay, which are happening in our body, and they are the reason for living organism to live, to survive, to have a life. Got to know? Okay, so it's all about study of these processes. The whole biology of this year is all about studying them. Okay, in this chapter we are mainly discussing about the 4 processes: nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion. Okay, and now let us have a general idea about nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. And after having a basic idea about them, let us discuss each and every process in detail. Okay, so the processes we are discussing, how they happen in plant body, how they can happen in microorganism, as well as how they happen in human beings. Okay, so this is the way we study the process. Say for example, if we are studying about nutrition, we study how nutrition can occur in plants, how nutrition can occur in microorganisms, and how nutrition can occur in human beings. Okay, same way respiration, how it can happen in plants, how it can happen in humans. Transportation, how it can happen in plants, how it can happen in human beings. Okay, so every process we study in a stepwise. We study how it can happen in plant and how it can happen in human system. Got to know? And now let us have a general idea about each and every process. First and foremost, let us try to understand the meaning of the word nutrition. Okay, and the nutrition is all about food. Okay, so in this part of life process, we discuss about various organisms and how they take food, how plants take food, and actually plants synthesize their own food, isn't it? And how they can synthesize their own food, and how do animals like we consume a food, what happens for the food, how the food goes into the system, and once the food has gone into the system, it will actually break into smaller particles. And after that, nutrients in the sense the vitamins and minerals, which are very much essential for the growth and maintenance of the body. And these nutrients will be absorbed by the body. Okay, and these nutrients we should supply to our body through food. So all these things we are going to learn under a process called nutrition. Okay, so what is nutrition here? If I have to give a definition for nutrition, it is nothing but a process of taking food. Okay, and after taking food, food particles will break into smaller particles. So I can say breaking food. We also deal about how food can break into small particles inside a system. Okay, once it is broken into small particles, whatever the nutrients were there in the food, that will be absorbed by the body. So we will also discuss about absorption of nutrients. Okay, so all these things we will discuss in a process called nutrition. So it's all about food. Okay, fine. And coming to the next life process. Okay, in the nutrition, we discussed how we take food, how the food gets broken down into small particles, and how the nutrients got absorbed by the body. Only this much, only this step we will discuss. And after that, with the help of those food or with the help of those, nutrients, energy can be synthesized. Yes or no? If we take food only, we get energy. Otherwise, we don't get energy. So how do you get energy out of food? And how is the gases are getting exchanged? You have this idea. We take oxygen gas and we give out carbon dioxide gas. So in this part of life process, we actually deal with exchange of gases. Like how oxygen is taken inside and what's happening with oxygen and how carbon dioxide is coming out. Exchange process we are going to discuss. And we also discuss about how energy is produced. What do you mean by energy? And how energy is produced from food. Okay. So what is happening for the food to get energy? There is happening a chemical reaction with the food particles which were broken down into small pieces. Because of those chemical reactions, energy is produced within a body. So all these issues were discussed. We are going to discuss under the heading respiration. Okay. And coming to the next aspect, transportation. So what we discuss in transportation is, okay, say we took food, we got energy out of it, then that energy must be utilized. That means energy has to be passed from top to bottom in our body. From head to toe, energy is required. That power is required for each and every cell, isn't it? And we also discussed how nutrients got absorbed in the nutrition process. Now in this step, those nutrients have to be passed to each and every cell in our body. Yes? So from top, from head to the toe, each and every cell needs those nutrients. Each and every cell, needs that energy. Got to know? So how is that nutrients are getting transported to every cell? Somebody must be there, no? To take that nutrients to every part of a body, to every organ and every cell. And that is what we speak about in a process called transportation. Okay, so here we are actually discussing about transportation, okay, of nutrients and gases. Okay, so we take oxygen, that each and every cell require oxygen to be alive. Oxygen, whatever we consume from the nose, that has to be passed to each and every cell in the body. So who is taking that oxygen to every part of a body? Okay, and carbon dioxide is getting collected in the cells and that has to come out. So who is carrying those carbon dioxide and oxygens? This is what we discuss in the third process called transportation. Okay. And after that, excretion. So excretion in the sense, the waste materials whichever have formed in the body should come out from the system. Yes or no? Isn't it? So how is the waste material coming out? That is what we are discussing under the process called excretion. Okay, so excretion is all about waste coming out from the living systems. Okay, so these are the various processes we are going to discuss in our chapter. Now, first and foremost, let us discuss the detailed aspects about the nutrition. So here we have a definition for nutrition. You can read it. It is a process of taking food and changing into smaller particles or smaller form, and those smaller form can be absorbed. Okay, usually when the food is consumed, I told you it will be broken up into smaller particles where you will have nutrients of food actually. Okay, so those nutrients of food can be absorbed by the body. Okay, and now what do you mean by nutrients? So every time I kept on telling nutrients, absorption, all those things. So what do you mean by nutrients? Nutrients are the chemical substances that is needed for nourishment. Nourishment in the sense what? For growth and maintenance of a living system. Got to know? So nutrients are nothing but certain chemical substances which are very much necessary for each and every cell which is there inside our body. Okay, the cell has to grow, the cell has to rejuvenate. Yes or no? Repair must happen in a cell if something happens. You know, for everything these nutrients are very much necessary. Okay, and these nutrients are not getting synthesized automatically inside a body. You know, you have to definitely supply them through the food only. Okay, from the food only we should take a nutrients, and those nutrients body can absorb during nutrition process, and then each and every cell can take the best use of nutrients later. Got to know? So this is about nutrients. And usually, okay, let us try to have some reasons actually why we should take food. Why should we consume food? Why should we consume food? Yes, can you be able to give reasons for this question? See, the first point I can tell is food contains nutrients. Yes or no? Food contains nutrients. As I said, nutrients are very much essential for growth and maintenance. Yes or no? And food gives us energy. What does the food give? Food gives us energy also. Yes or no? Only food can undergo a chemical reaction within a system to give energy. Clear, everyone? And the third one is it is much needed for cell repair and maintenance. Yes or no? In case, say, something happens for cells inside the body, they get repaired automatically. Okay, it's all because you supplied nutrients. Yes or no? You supplied some energy where cell can get repaired on its own. Okay, it can get rejuvenate on its own. Got to know? And the last and important point is to improve our immunity power. Yes or no? To improve immunity. So these are the 4 major reasons why we should consume food. Okay, and now let us learn the most basic aspects of nutrition, that is the modes of nutrition. Okay, say now we got to know what is the importance of food, why we have to consume. Okay, and now we will learn how actually we are consuming food. Okay, so food can be consumed either by plant or animal in 2 different modes normally. right? So we study about the modes of nutrition now. So what we are going to study? So this is our topic in our syllabus. Okay, the first aspects under nutrition is modes of nutrition. We have two modes of nutrition actually. Okay, so what are they? The first one is autotrophic nutrition, and the second mode of nutrition is heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so very important aspect: autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. And this mode of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition, is seen in autotrophs. What do you mean by autotrophs? The living organisms that can synthesize their own food. So in our nature, which living organisms can synthesize their own food? It is plants, yes or no? And some bacteria. Plants as well as some bacteria. Okay. And what do you mean by heterotrophic nutrition? Heterotrophic nutrition is seen in heterotrophs. Yes or no? So who are heterotrophs? Heterotrophs are the living organisms which do not synthesize their own food. They cannot synthesize their own food. Like human beings. Can we synthesize our own food? Definitely no. Okay. We directly or indirectly depend on plants, isn't it? Say we consume certain animals or we consume certain plant products or animal products. Yes, we depend on other organisms for our life. So such organisms are called heterotrophs. Okay. So what examples do you give for heterotrophs? You know, you can give all animals. Yes or no? All animals. Certain fungi. Okay. And parasites which completely depend on other organisms for their food. Okay. So these guys are heterotrophs. So now we have to discuss the two types of nutrition in detail. Okay. So in my next video, we are going to study about autotrophic nutrition. Okay. So that is all about plants, because autotrophic nutrition is all about autotrophs. So what do you mean by autotrophs? Autotrophs are the organisms, for example, plants and bacteria, which can prepare their own food for their survival, for their growth and maintenance. Okay. So in the next video, let us talk about autotrophic nutrition. Okay. So till then, keep revising this introduction class on life processes, and you know the very interesting aspects we are going to learn. So don't miss the videos. If you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel for more updates. Thank you.